everyone, it's Natalie with Treasures of Minnie, and I am back after a really long time with really kind of a sad video, I think. I think the last video I posted was right before Thanksgiving, and since then my family has gone through a lot. This is actually the first day I have stepped foot in my craft room to do anything since the week before Thanksgiving. Over Christmas, I realized I have stamps that I have bought a year ago that I have not even opened. So I am going on a strike, I guess. I'm not buying anything crafty for a year at all. Anything like stamps, or if I don't want to say I'm not buying anything at all, because I do have a business that's also called Treasures of Minnie on Etsy. I sew and crochet and paint and do crafts that I sell. Obviously, for those things, I will probably need to buy yarn and things like that. But my New Year's resolution was I am not buying any stamps, the new stamps. I'm not going to do any card kits. If I find stuff on clearance or I find things for specific holidays, I might do that. And I'm going to let you guys know for the rest of the year what I buy. If I buy it, I'm going to tell you. I am going to make things work with what I have. And that is what I'm doing this year. And I hope that that's okay with you guys, because I know that a lot of you guys really like seeing the card kits and get inspiration from the card kits. What I am going to do is I am going to look at the card kits, and I'm going to try to make a card close to the inspiration for those card kits with stuff that I already have in my craft room. So they won't be exact, but I'm going to show you substitutions. Enough about that. So these are really tiny, kind of silly little cards. I'll show you. Here's this one. These are scratch-offs, which I'm going to show you in a minute. There's this tiny, tiny one. And here is this one. So, speaking of things that I've had in my craft room and I've never even used, that's where these came from. Oops. This die set. I think this was one of the very first die sets I ever got when I started making. Never used it till I made these cards. So, what's really cute about it, and I think the reason I never used it is because some of them are really tiny and it just didn't seem practical, but I didn't realize that at the time. So these are by Little Bee, and basically they have the card and the mat. So that's what I did on this one. I cut the card base, and it has a score line on it. And then this pretty paper right here, that was the mat. But I felt like there was like too much space in between the mat and this. So I actually just measured it, and I cut another piece of scrap paper, this light pink, in to mat behind it. And I did that with all of them. And then I cut the same size as this pink one. I cut 2 white ones for the inside if you wanted to write on it. So that one was this piece. Then I did this one, this little oblong one. It cuts it and scores it. And here is its little mat. Again, the striped paper was the mat, and I just felt like there was too much space. So I measured and cut out the pink piece, and I did the same for the inside. And then we have the little bitty tiny guy, which is adorable to me. I just think it's adorable. This was this little guy and its little mat. And again, I did the same thing with the pink. So anyway, really quick. The other day, I was in Michael's. Yep, Michael's. And I saw this pad of paper. And I think it was $3.99. Nope. Sorry, it was $5.99, which I think it's really pretty paper. It's got some gold leaf. It's a really pretty pad of paper. I really liked it. And I didn't think $5.99 was that big of a deal. I probably would not have done this if I would have known that I was going out for this and had went through my stash already. I probably have a pad from last year. So next year I will not be buying more paper because I have 2 of these. But at the time when I was at Michael's, I actually think I had a 40% off too. So I really think I got this for like just a couple of bucks, and that's kind of why I did it. But I wasn't thinking about what I had at the house too, because I have cleaned out a lot and gave a bunch of stuff away. So I wasn't really sure if I had given my Valentine's Day paper away or not. It's the only reason why I got this. So I got that. Then I also got this Recollections sticker pack. And they're like dimensional stickers. And that is what I used on the front of all these little cards, these little pop-up dimensional stickers. The stickers were $3.99. Okay? All these were those little stickers. So I got this little sticker pack. And I got this scratch-off sticker pack for $3.99. And I also got this one. They're also the little dimensional ones. We're not using this today. This is going to be in an upcoming video. All right, so how I did these little cards and why I did them. Now, I don't have small children in school. When I did, I think this would have been really cute to make little Valentines. And I do have an envelope punch board. When it was all the rave, I got one. And I do use it. That is something that I actually do use a lot. When it's stuff that's not the normal size. So I am going to actually make little envelopes for these too. What I'm going to do with these is starting February 1st up until the 14th, I am going to have one of these little cards with something sweet in it every day that I'm going to hide somewhere for my husband to find for those 14 days. So I may put it in his little lunch. I may put one in his little lunch one day, maybe one in the car where I know he'll see it one day, etc. So that would be the main reason for having these little bitty tiny cards. I just thought it'd be something really sweet to do for my husband. So here's 3 already. And I'm going to kind of go, it was so simple, guys. You can make these so simple. And that was the other thing. You guys know that for holiday stuff, I don't really like to buy the expensive stamps and all that stuff because you just use it for a few times and then it just sits. And next year comes around and you want new anyway. So I really try to do all of my holiday cards from puffy stickers and that kind of stuff, just because, I don't know, it's just so much cheaper, and it's really hard for me to buy a Valentine's Day stamp that I might use 2 times. And then I can tell myself I'm going to use it again next year, but I don't, because they come out with something new. So I'm really big on using stickers and washi tape and things like that for holidays. So let me show you what I have done. So I first put the insides of them together. Now, when I had cut my white pieces of paper, I felt like the edge just kind of needed something. And if you can see, I did some gold ink around it. I used this one. It takes forever to dry, it seems like. So if you do try to do this, it's a pigment ink. It's beautiful. It's my favorite. The Encore inks, I have them. I have gold, silver, a purple one. I love them. They're gorgeous. They just take some time to dry. And when you're trying to do it on tiny little pieces like this, you just have to be careful or you're going to get it everywhere. And so I pre-did this so that it would have time to dry before I did the video, which you can see. It's still kind of coming off on my finger, but not too bad. But all I did to do this, and I do this a lot, is it's on this side. I just kind of just drop that into it. Like this. And then just go around the edges. And just go around. Now that one's going to be wet. I have already done all the others. I think it just gives it a little depth. I am going to hit that one with my heat tool real quick. I already prepped all the edges, mainly because I did it with that pigment ink. I've got my Tombow. Any glue will work. Any glue that you have. Remember, we're doing that don't buy stuff, or I am. And I'm just going to go ahead and start layering. All right, now I'm going to go back and layer these other pieces. These are the ones that so this would have been from that little bee set. This would have been the card, and this would have been the mat. And you see, I think that's a lot of space that it just, to me, seemed like it needed something else. So with more scrap paper, I just cut the different. Anyway, now I'm going to layer these up. So, I mean, you can see how quickly this is coming together. And if you do have children, think of how much fun they would have if you could prep it yourself. You could cut out all these little pieces, put them in their piles, just cut out a pile of this size, a pile of this size, and a pile of different size card bases, and go ahead and fold the card bases, and then just let them tell them, this is what you're doing. You're layering, boom, boom, boom. Here's your glue. Here's what you do. Start layering. Kids can do this. They can layer their pieces, and then it's their little Valentines they've made. If you're not a crafter and you don't have this stuff at all, then yeah, it's probably going to be cheaper if you buy the Valentines at Walmart already done. Probably. But if you are a crafter, which, I mean, I think most of us are, you have all this stuff laying around the house. You have ways of doing this without spending any money and preparing this for your kids. Kind of like I had it in the beginning. I had all this stuff out. And you don't have to put them together. Let your child decide how he or she wants it, and set them at the kitchen table with their pieces and say, here you go, build your own card. Kind of like Build-A-Bear, only we're building a Valentine. I think I'm just talking to fill space now. I apologize. I'm just talking to talk. Anyway, so yeah, it's been quite hectic, guys, with my poor mother-in-law falling down the stairs. She's still not back to her normal self. I mean, she had to have major surgery. It takes a lot to break your femur. A lot. That's really tough bone. And thank God she got very close to nicking the artery right there with the way the bone broke. And thank God that didn't happen. And we live in Sanford, North Carolina. And she had to go to Duke for surgery and was in the hospital there for 3 weeks. And then we got her transferred from there to a rehab facility. I don't mean drug rehab. I mean rehab, if you need to learn to walk or anything like that again. So we had her transferred to one of those closer to the house. Whoa, that is not the right size. I think I made this one a little big. Well, we're just going to go with it because I've already got glue on it. So that one I made a little big, but that's okay. And then she was there, and, you know, we felt really bad, and we didn't want her to be alone. And so every day I would go up, well, would try to, one of us, my husband, me, or the kids, somebody would go up, try to every day to see her. But then we started getting like these snow, and some days we weren't able to go, and it was a lot. It was very stressful. It was a lot. And then I got sick, and then we had Christmas and family in, and it's just been a lot. And I haven't been creative at all. The other thing is right here, I'm just erasing some of my little pencil lines that I see when I was measuring out my pieces, because I don't actually measure. I just kind of eyeball things sometimes. And I'll just make little tick marks. But anyway. All right, so we have our little card bases built. And now I'm going to take my stickers from that sticker pack. And all I'm going to do is place them. And the one thing that I like when they're on these clear pieces is I can see how it's going to look just by putting my my little card underneath it. And I really think the purse is cute, but it's for my husband, so I think I'll go with the heart. He would be like, what? That's weird, but okay. So all I'm going to do is stick my little heart on here. And push her down. And look at there. All right. This one. Okay, on this one fits really good, I think. I don't know what that says, though. I think it's like maybe French for I love you, or I hate to say this, but I don't know what that says. So I think I'm going to use, I could do the cutie, or I could do this one. Because on the big one, I'm going to do this. Or does that look better? I like that. So I am going to do this one real quick. Buddy, please stop. My dog, our neighbor has a dog, a newer dog. And it's outside barking, so obviously Buddy is gonna growl at everything. Woo! Make sure you're gluing them right, because I thought I glued that one upside down by accident. So that one's good. So now to kind of make this decision, and I just don't really know. I mean, I really think that's probably the cutest. But I love the way this one says love, I really do. But this one fits the best, so I'm going to do this one. Ah! All right. And I still have plenty left. Now, I thought it would be fun if I just added some of these little scratch-offs under there. I don't know. I just think it makes it cute. So, I'm going to do this one and the little guy. And I can also write something right there, you know. So there's that one. And in this one, I'm going to do the, what am I going to do? I wish I could see through this to know if it fits. I think the The feather's probably the best bet on this one. And I wish I could do that one. I probably could if I cut it down, but I think I like this. All right. So, I mean, I just think these are adorable. I just really, really do. I think what I'm actually going to do is to just write my husband a short little sweet message and make some tiny envelopes to put these in and hide them in places for him. I know that this was a jumbled up mess with me talking about a whole bunch of stuff, trying to get you guys caught up in my life. I hope it was not too bad, but this is the only one that's going to be this unorganized and this chaotic, I promise. Because in doing this, I did start coming up with some really cool and cute card ideas and crafts for Valentine's Day, for school and things like that, that I'm already going to start working on and have another video hopefully this week, but if not, for sure by Monday. This is the first time you've ever seen my videos. Before you judge me too quickly, please go back and look at some of my other videos. If this isn't your first time and you've been following me, you know that this is not my my usual method of video making, and that you understand, I think. Anyway, guys, I really hope that y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful Christmas, and are having a wonderful New Year so far. I will be back very soon with much more creative cards and some really cool ideas on some crafts. And until next time, hugs and loves from my craft room to yours. Bye.